All right, for this one, we're going deep. I mean, deep into the sprawling wild jungles of North Coimbatore in India. This is the backdrop for Story, a story of pure terror, tragedy, and a hunt that honestly defies any simple explanation. Just listen to this. For 3 whole months, a single animal held sway over nearly half a district. Can you even imagine that? This wasn't just any predator. It became a legend literally born from fear. And its story, well, it's not just about a hunt. It's about how a monster is made. So what did this tiger even look like? Well, it was no ordinary animal, that's for sure. People who saw it and survived described this terrifying creature. It had a scarred-up face, was missing its left eye and its left ear. These weren't just battle scars. These marks were from a single, brutal encounter that completely changed its destiny, and the destiny of anyone unlucky enough to cross its path. You see, those scars, they weren't just a reminder. They were the very reason it started hunting people. And here's the really crucial part, the thing you have to understand. This tiger, it wasn't born a man-eater. No way. It started out as a cattle lifter. A problem, for sure, a nuisance. But its entire life was twisted tragically and violently by one single human decision. So how did this all go down? Well, it started on a coffee estate. The tiger was just doing what tigers do, grabbing cattle. A planter got fed up and set a massive, really cruel gin trap. And of course, the tiger walks right into it. Its head gets caught in these iron jaws. Can you imagine the terror? In this desperate, violent struggle, it rips itself free. But the cost is just devastating. It loses its left eye and its left ear. Now it's maimed, it's in constant pain, and it can't hunt its natural prey anymore, things like deer or wild pig. So it turns to the easiest target it can find, us. And the first human victim, gosh, it's heartbreaking. An 18-year-old woman just walking a few feet behind her husband, a man named Jeyken. He turns around and sees this scarred beast crouched on his wife's back, her eyes pleading with him. He's just frozen in horror as the tiger drags her into the jungle. It's this one brutal, awful moment that kicks off a quest for revenge that becomes absolutely central to this whole story. So as you can imagine, news of this tiger's rampage starts to spread like wildfire. The body count is rising. And that's when our protagonist, an experienced hunter and the narrator of this story, hears what's going on. He just can't stand by and let it happen. He decides he has to do something. And just like that, his mission becomes laser-focused. Find and kill this man-eater. But just try to wrap your head around the scale of this challenge. The tiger's territory was 3,600 square miles. 3,600. All of it dense jungle, rolling hills, deep ravines. Trying to find one specific animal in all of that, it's like finding a needle in a haystack, except, this needle can and will kill you. So our hunter, he's a professional. He starts out very methodically. First, he gets the right permits. Then he heads right into the heart of the tiger's territory, a village called Ramapuram, and starts gathering intel. And it's there that he meets Jeyken, the husband of that first victim. And Jeyken, he wants to join the hunt. Not for money, not for glory, but for pure vengeance. So they team up and set off on this 19-mile trek to another village, Bailur, following the next lead in this desperate search. Okay, so the hunt is on, and the strategy is a classic one. You use bait to try and draw the tiger out. The hunter goes and buys 3 young bulls, and he tethers them in strategic spots, places where the man-eater had been seen recently. Day 1, nothing. The baits are untouched. Day 2, still nothing. The jungle is completely silent. You can just feel the tension building. But then, on the morning of the 3rd day, they get the news they've been waiting for. The bull that was tied up near the 21st milestone, which is the exact spot where a road worker was killed, it's gone. A tiger has finally taken the bait. So is this the moment? This has to be it, right? The trail is fresh. The hunter sets off completely alone, following the drag marks from the dead bull deep into the thick jungle. The big question is hanging in the air. Is the reign of the Ramapuram tiger finally about to end? Man, this is a tough trek. The trail leads him through the super dense lantana brush, and then it starts going up a steep, rocky hill. He's taking every single step with extreme caution because he knows the tiger could be anywhere, watching him. At this point, he's not just the hunter, he is absolutely the hunted too. And the trail, it's leading him straight to a lair. But what he finds in there, it's not at all what he expected. In this shallow little cave, he sees two tiny tiger cubs playing. And just as he's taking this in, their mother, a perfect, healthy, beautiful tigress, just explodes out of the den. He realizes immediately, this isn't the scarred man-eater. This is a mother, and she's protecting her young. I mean, can you imagine this standoff? The tigress charges him, stopping just 5 yards away, letting out a roar that he says literally shook the ground. But she doesn't follow through. She doesn't attack. And the hunter realizes she's not driven by malice. This is pure maternal instinct. As he puts it, she was basically telling him in the simplest language possible, get out and don't you dare harm my cubs, or I will kill you. So he slowly, carefully backs away, his rifle on her the whole time. He respected her warning, and in a way, she respected his retreat. So, okay, wrong tiger. The hunt is basically back to square one. It's getting dark, and the hunter's walking back to his bungalow, probably still replaying that whole intense encounter with the tigress in his mind. And then, a single, sudden impulse changes everything. He can't really explain why. There's just this feeling, this urge that compels him to make one last, completely unplanned check on another one of the bait bowls. It's almost totally dark now. He'd already checked on this bowl that morning. There was absolutely no logical reason to go back. And yet, he turns off the path. He's just inspecting the rope on the bowl, and suddenly the entire night just explodes. A massive whoof, a deafening roar erupts from the bushes he had walked right past just moments before. He was taken completely, utterly by surprise. The man-eater had found him. And this wasn't just a blind attack. No, this was a move of terrifying intelligence. The tiger didn't just go for the bull. A huge gray shape, he sees the scarred face, the missing ear. It vaulted onto the bull's back, using the poor animal as a springboard to get to him. What happens next is just a split second of pure chaotic chance. The bull is standing right between the hunter and the tiger. As the tiger leaps, the bull just collapses under the weight, which completely ruins the tiger's spring. That tiny moment of confusion, that is the only opening the hunter gets. He fires. A split second. 3 shots ring out, and the man-eater's reign is over. But when the chaos ends, the bull that accidentally saved his life is also dead.
So, the terror is over, but the story? Not by a long shot. The hunter, completely shaken, makes his way back to the village. The sound of the gunshots had already echoed through the hills, so they knew something had happened. And what follows is just this really complex mix of human emotions. You've got the villagers, who are just filled with relief and gratitude. They're celebrating. Their nightmare is finally over. But then there's Jeyken. When he sees the body of his wife's killer, he doesn't celebrate at all. He just breaks down, weeping, even stabbing the dead tiger in this fit of unrestrained grief and rage. For him, this isn't a victory. It's just a painful, horrible final chapter. And the hunter? He just feels shock and sickness. And then, the next day, a truly chilling discovery is made. Jeyken finds a spot just off the path where the hunter had been walking, and the grass is all flattened down. It becomes terrifyingly clear. The tiger hadn't just stumbled upon the hunter by chance. It had been lying in ambush, waiting for him to walk right into a trap. Think about that. That one single impulsive decision to check the bait. That was the only thing that saved his life. If he had just kept walking down that path, he would have walked straight into the ambush. No question. And this incredible near miss brings the hunter to a really profound question about luck, about fate, or what some people call providence. So what was it? Just a random impulse? A sixth sense? Or was it something else entirely? The hunter ends his story with this powerful thought, this question he can't answer. He says some people tell him there's no such thing as providence, but after what he went through, he finds it harder to understand the disbelievers than to understand providence itself. It really leaves you wondering, doesn't it? What do you call it when a single, unexplainable urge is the only thing that stands between you and certain death?